A funeral service for Amir Locke continues in Minneapolis today. Police shot and killed the 22-year-old earlier this month while executing a no-knock warrant for someone else. A few minutes ago, civil rights lawyer Benjamin Crump was speaking. Police body cam shows Locke was asleep when police barged in. Officers say Locke, who was black, pointed his gun at them, but the video appears to show otherwise. Locke's death has sparked a number of protests calling for an end to no-knock warrants. Newsy Justice correspondent Jamal Andrus is live outside the church where Locke's funeral service is being held. Jamal, what was the message from Reverend Sharpton today? What is the mood there?
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. Well, look, this funeral is a somber occasion. Obviously, every funeral like this is, but there's a few things that are different about this one. First, the focus is on justice, or at least accountability for the death of Amir Locke. You know, there are people walking around wearing Black Lives Matter with their formal attire. I saw someone who had sick and tired embroidered on their wheelchair as they came here to honor the life of Amir Locke. And so Ben Crump is speaking right now. Reverend Al Sharpton is going to do the eulogy here. But even from Amir Locke's family members, we've heard this dip into political action, whether it be banning no-knock warrants or arresting the officers involved in Amir Locke's death. Something else I think is important to acknowledge here. So many people here today have been here before. This is the same church where they laid to rest Daunte Wright, the same church where they laid to rest Lanille Frazier. Lanille Frazier was killed by a police officer's vehicle, a 40-year-old. This is the uncle of Darnella Frazier, who recorded that video, that famous viral video of George Floyd being murdered. And so this is a community that has been really wrapped up in this for 2 years straight now. And as you were walking around, you could see people sort of going about their business because they've had to do this on multiple occasions. And so, again, very somber here, but again, two factors that are just very different from what you typically see at a funeral because of the circumstances of Amir Locke's death.
Yeah, that city has certainly gone through a lot. Let's talk about these no-knock warrants. You know, similarities have been made with the Locke case to, of course, Breonna Taylor. What is next in the fight to end this controversial police tactic?
Yeah, Jay. Well, you know, if you remember the deaths of George Floyd and Daunte Wright, the officers' jobs is kind of what comes next in this process. Tutal, J. Alexander King, Thomas Lane, and of course Derek Chauvin were fired within the week of George Floyd's death. And so I would imagine that the pressure on officials to fire those officers involved is raising here. Kim Potter, who's going to be sentenced tomorrow in the death of Daunte Wright, she resigned shortly after that video went viral across the world. And so I would imagine there's a lot of pressure on the department right now to make a move on these officers that were involved. We already know that Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is investigating this case, and that's where the rubber meets the road on charges. And again, you know, here at this funeral, along with honoring the life of Amir Locke, a lot of folks are calling for those officers to be prosecuted, and that's going to be up to the Attorney General's office. Lastly, I would imagine we could see some movement on no-knock warrants. That is the thing that is hanging over this. You already alluded to Breonna Taylor, and the governor, Governor Tim Walz, is here in this building, in this church, at this service. And so that is something that, again, has been called to from the pulpit today. And so I would imagine we could see that in the near future.
Justice correspondent Jamal Andrus from a grieving Minneapolis.